Hi everyone, welcome back to GameMaker Cast. It's Mickey, and in this video, we're going to be working on Phase 2 of the boss, so let's roll the introduction and get right into it. Now, all of our code is going to be done in the object boss, so let's go ahead and open up all of our events that we're going to need here. We're going to maximize everything and go to the step event. In the previous video, we set up Phase 1, but now we're going to be setting up Phase 2, so let's create a case statement for that. In Phase 2, I want the boss to move left and right and up and down. This means we can borrow some of the code from Phase 1, in particularly the X position here. We're going to copy and paste this into Phase 2. This also means while we're moving to the second phase, let's set the next position X to be the X position. And while we're here, because we will be moving up and down, let's also set the next Y position to be the current Y position as well. Now, using the same method as before, we can check the current Y position based off of the next Y position, and if they are equal, then we will choose a random range between the two numbers. And just down a little bit, we are using the approach script on the X position. Let's do the same with the Y position, approaching the current Y position to the next Y position over 3 pixels. We can also include the image angle for a little bit of juice like we did before. And scrolling up to position 1, let's take our shooting here, copy and paste it into Phase 2. I know we're doing a lot of copying and pasting, but everything is pretty much the same here. Now for these particular shots, instead of wait and single and double, we want wait, and then we are going to add a rapid fire into here. Once again, we need to check afterwards if our current health points are less or equal to 0. And if they are indeed less or equal to 0, we'll just switch the phase to Phase 3. Now, there's a few things we need to do before we're able to play our game. The first one, let's add the rapid fire in. So let's go to our second state machine, let's scroll all the way down and add a new case for the rapid fire. Now, because we're going to be shooting multiple bullets, to create an instance, and this is just going to be set to no one, and it's only for memory purposes. Next, we'll need to make sure that we can find the player, and we should check that the player does exist. And then what I want to do is I want to create 4 bullets at a time, so I'll use a for loop here. Now I'm going to start off by assigning the instance variable that we created above an object enemy bullet at the X and Y location plus 32. Now we did set this up in a previous video, but we'll check it again. But basically we want to set the timer wait to be whatever the I variable is, that's our loop, and then times 8. So we're going to wait that many frames before continuing on. And finally, we need to set the direction of the bullets to point towards the player. Now let's open up our object enemy bullet and make sure the timer is in there. You can see here we have a timer wait, and if it's bigger than 0, which it will be in our case, then we just deduct 1 and we continue the alpha at 0. Once the timer is less or equal to 0, then we assign the speed and the image alpha, and we move it along its trajectory. Let's switch back to the boss object and open up the draw event. And here you can see we already have one for Phase 2, and we're using these 2 colors as the foreground and background. So everything's set up for that. And before we run our game, let's go back to the step event. We'll scroll all the way up to our first state machine. And in Phase 1 here, where we set it to Phase 2, what we also need to do is we need to make sure that the hit points are going to be reset to the maximum hit points. And I'm also setting the timer, the maximum for shooting is going to be a little bit less. So now let's run our game and let's see if we can make it to Phase 2. You can see that Phase 2 completed successfully. We're missing an audio on the rapid fire, and this is really up to you. I'm just going to have it play once after the for statement. I don't want to have it overlap. But Phase 2 is working, and that's where this video ends. The next video will finish Phase 3, and we're very close to completing this series. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching the video. A special shout out to my patrons in no particular order: Mary, Ashby, GameMaker Community, Victor, Paul, and Robert. Once again, thank you for watching the video, and check out the description below for all of the links that are needed.